Welcome to M2 Hockey and HockeyShare.com. Today's skill video is brought to you by Cool Sports. Today we're going over the basic techniques of a slap shot. Hopefully you watched the last video where we went over the basic technique, the fundamentals of a wrist shot. A lot of the same principles apply. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off again, same basic stance as we started when we were practicing our wrist shot, learning that. And we're going to start in our hockey stance, low into our stance, because again, we generate our power from our lower body and our core on the turn, okay, not from our arms. So a slap shot, what we want to do is we want to start off with puck placement. Puck placement is going to vary a little bit by skater depending on what exactly you're comfortable with. For the most part, most players will have it right in the middle of their stance, maybe slightly off the back heel. For me personally, I like it a little bit off my back foot. Helps me get a little bit more leverage. Let's talk about the basic wind-up. So again, having the stick flat on the ice is important because this is where the blade's going to return. I want my hands over shoulder width apart. So for the wrist shot, it was about shoulder. I want to drop it down another 6 inches or so, just over shoulder width apart for the slap shot. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this puck up here, blades flat on the ice. My wind-up is the beginning of the slap shot phase. So as I wind up, I'm bringing my blade straight back, straight up. Okay, I'm loading my back leg again. I'm going to push through, follow through to the net. A couple mistakes you're going to see is number one is a player's going to wind up and come way up high. This does not buy you much extra power, okay, and it certainly doesn't justify the extra amount of time that it takes to let the slap shot go. So when you take the slap shot, especially practicing, have them come up to just about shoulder level, maybe a little above. You're going to step through. Now, as you follow through, you want your blade completely facing that net. So you don't want it open, you don't want it closed, you're going to have a hard time controlling it. You want it completely facing that net. You want to hit the ice about 2 to 3 inches behind the puck. What that's going to allow you to do is essentially flex your stick. So your stick is actually generating a lot of the power in this shot, in the slap shot. What happens is kids will get 110 flex stick, they weigh 135 pounds, and they'll hit the ice, they'll hit the puck, and they can't bend the stick for anything. Okay? I'm roughly 175, 180 pounds. I use a 100 flex stick, and I can also use an 85 flex stick. I tend to use a 100 flex stick because I'll use my sticks for a long time, so they get a little bit more whippy as the time goes. But you want to have a lot of whip into that stick so that when you sit here, your stick's flexing and it's working for you. If the stick is too stiff, it will work against you. You'll never have a good shot, guarantee you. All right, so we're gonna come back. We're winding up. We're hitting the ice right here. Okay, now we have to look at the principles of the wrist shot that we learned. Number one, so you got to be facing the net. You got to look to know where your target is. Okay, so as you're winding up, I'm looking to the net, loading all my weight on this back leg, pushing through, following through to the net. My hips open, my front foot faces straight at the net. My stick follows through right at the net as well. So as you're coming through, really practice coming up here. Don't go too high again. Right here, making sure that stick blade's facing the net, stepping through, following through right at the target. Okay, one way you can phase this down for the younger skaters is when they wind up, have them stop right here. If they stop right here, you can make sure that they're not winding up back behind their body, okay, which makes it way more difficult to hit the puck. Because now instead of just hitting it in a straight line, you're trying to adjust this way as well as down. Makes it much more difficult. Have them start straight up, make sure their hands are in the proper position, step through, load up all that weight, explode through, drive to the net. Now just like a wrist shot, you want your wrist to roll all the way over, hands in front of the body, follow through. So slap shot, up, drive, straight through. Again, where you follow through is going to determine where exactly your shot goes. All right? So we're going up, skates going to the net. We'll see you next time at M2 Hockey and HockeyShare.com.